Experiencing a crush often triggers noticeable physiological responses. One common reaction is an accelerated heart rate. This increased heart rate is a result of the body's natural fight or flight response. The sensation is often described metaphorically as the heart racing. This physical sensation is a typical manifestation of attraction. Young children often express affection through written notes. These notes are typically handwritten using crayons. The content often involves comparing their crush to something they admire. A common comparison is to a favorite Pokemon character. This reflects the child's innocent and straightforward way of showing fondness. Such expressions are a charming aspect of early childhood relationships. Daydreaming about a crush occupies a considerable amount of one's thoughts. This mental activity requires a significant investment of both time and energy. The process of daydreaming burns calories as the brain engages in imaginative scenarios. However, this mental preoccupation can lead to a reduction in overall productivity. The focus on fantasies detracts from attention to practical tasks and responsibilities. Crafting a text to a crush often involves significant effort. This effort includes carefully choosing words and emojis. The time spent composing the message can be considerable. However, the message is often read very quickly by the recipient. This contrast highlights the difference in investment between sender and receiver. The sensation of butterflies in the stomach is a common metaphor. It describes the nervous or excited feeling one experiences when anticipating interaction with a crush. This feeling can be humorously reinterpreted as tiny hype men. These hype men are metaphorically cheering in support of the crush. A common observation is the frequent disappearance of men's socks. This phenomenon is often humorously attributed to a drier dimension. The drier dimension is a hypothetical parallel universe. Socks are believed to inadvertently enter this dimension during laundry cycles. This explains the mystery of why socks often go missing without a trace. The act of grilling is often associated with male stereotypes. Men comically exaggerate their grilling skills, even with minimal effort. Flipping a single burger can trigger a declaration of chef mode. This highlights a lighthearted, self-proclaimed mastery of the grill. A notable trend exists among many fathers regarding television volume settings. Specifically, a significant portion of dads exhibit a preference for setting the TV volume to odd numbers. This behavior is observed across various demographics and viewing habits. The reason behind this preference remains largely speculative and anecdotal. Some theories suggest it may be related to a perceived sense of balance or symmetry. Regardless of the cause, the odd-numbered volume preference is a commonly recognized dad fact. Men sometimes experience a surge of strength in specific situations. One such situation is when attempting to open a tightly sealed jar. This temporary strength increase is not permanent. The underlying cause of this phenomenon is not fully understood. It is often anecdotal and not scientifically proven. The male brain is often described as having a nothing box. This nothing box is a metaphorical space for mental relaxation. It is portrayed as a state of mind where active thought is minimal. The nothing box is conceptualized as being Wi-Fi enabled. Access to this mental state is securely password protected. Women have a heightened sensitivity to the sound of chocolate wrappers. This allows them to detect the sound from a considerable distance. This phenomenon is often described as an uncanny ability. The specific reasons behind this heightened sensitivity are not fully understood. The concept of a woman's maybe is humorously portrayed. This maybe is not a simple, ambiguous response. Instead, it is depicted as a comprehensive and detailed explanation. This explanation takes the form of a multi-page PowerPoint presentation. The presentation format emphasizes the thoroughness behind the maybe. This humorous depiction highlights the complexity often underlying a seemingly simple response. Many women have a strong familiarity with the movie The Lion King. This familiarity extends to memorization of lines from the film. Some women can even recite lines from The Lion King while sleeping. This suggests a deep level of engagement and memory association with the movie. The phenomenon highlights the cultural impact and memorability of The Lion King. The concept humorously suggests that women's eyelashes can detect lies. This is a playful and fictional portrayal. It implies a heightened sensitivity or intuition. The idea is not based on scientific fact. It serves as a humorous exaggeration. The concept is purely for entertainment. A woman's playlist is rumored to have predictive capabilities. Specifically, it is believed to forecast the weather. The accuracy of these predictions is reportedly high. This suggests a correlation between musical preferences and meteorological patterns, although the mechanism is unknown. Sharing earbuds is associated with a deeper connection in relationships. This act is thought to foster a sense of intimacy and closeness. Couples who share earbuds may develop more inside jokes. Shared experiences, like listening to music together, strengthen bonds. This simple act can symbolize a shared world and mutual understanding. The first selfie, taken by a couple, is believed to hold predictive power. This belief suggests the selfie can indicate future dynamics within the relationship. Specifically, it is said to predict who will steal the blanket in the future. The phrase, steal the blanket, is a metaphor. It represents one partner dominating or taking more than their share in the relationship. Love languages describe different ways people express and experience love. One love language involves performing acts of service for a partner. Acts of service are actions taken to ease a partner's burdens or show care. A humorous example of this love language is bringing snacks without asking. This gesture demonstrates thoughtfulness and anticipation of a partner's needs. Arguments in relationships frequently escalate to a point where one party seeks external validation. Google has become a common tool for resolving disputes and determining the correct viewpoint. This reliance on search engines highlights a desire for objective evidence during disagreements. However, using Google to win arguments can sometimes undermine direct communication. It may also shift the focus from understanding each other's perspectives to simply proving a point. The IKEA test is a humorous concept suggesting compatibility assessment through furniture assembly. It posits that a couple's ability to assemble IKEA furniture indicates relationship strength. Successful assembly symbolizes effective communication and teamwork. The test implies that overcoming the challenges of flat-pack furniture mirrors overcoming relationship obstacles. The humorous exaggeration suggests that such couples are prepared for even extreme challenges. Therefore, successfully building IKEA furniture together is jokingly equated with surviving alien invasions. Shared reactions to stimuli can indicate compatibility. A couple's reaction to jump scares can be telling. If both individuals scream at jump scares, it suggests a similar sensitivity. Humor compatibility is also important. If they both laugh at dad jokes, it indicates a shared sense of humor. Soulmates are often depicted in scenarios involving a shared resource. A common scenario involves the last slice of food, symbolizing a limited resource. Soulmates are initially portrayed as disagreeing or arguing over this last slice. This disagreement highlights potential conflicts or differences in desires. Despite the initial conflict, soulmates ultimately choose to share the last slice. This sharing symbolizes compromise, consideration, and mutual respect within the relationship. This compatibility fact presents a humorous take on relationship dynamics. It suggests a scenario involving off-key singing as a key element. The scenario involves one person singing off-key, creating a dissonant sound. The perfect match is defined when the other person harmonizes with the dog. This implies a shared sense of humor and acceptance of imperfections within the relationship. Shared preferences indicate compatibility within a relationship. Couples who enjoy similar activities often experience greater relationship satisfaction. Finding shared joy in simple things can be a sign of deeper connection. Common interests can serve as a foundation for a lasting partnership. Shared dislikes can be a surprising indicator of compatibility. Couples sharing a dislike for the same vegetable are considered highly compatible. This suggests shared preferences extend beyond just food. Such shared dislikes may indicate similar taste profiles. It might also reflect similar upbringing or cultural backgrounds. Therefore, disliking the same vegetable can be a quirky sign of compatibility. A crush's laugh has a special significance to an individual. The brain automatically prioritizes and saves the sound of a crush's laugh. This auditory memory is stored in a high-priority location within the brain. The favorites folder in the brain signifies important and cherished memories. Young children often engage in unique social behaviors related to their crushes. One example is the willingness to trade valuable items, like preferred fruit snacks. These trades are often made in exchange for a simple smile or acknowledgement from their crush. This behavior illustrates the strong emotional value children place on interactions with their crushes. Pacing refers to the act of adjusting one's walking speed. The adjustment is made to synchronize with the walking pace of a person one is attracted to. This subtle mirroring is often an unconscious expression of interest. The precision and subtlety involved are likened to the skill of an Olympic-level athlete. Therefore, pacing demonstrates a delicate and nuanced form of social interaction. Experiencing a crush significantly alters brain function. The brain actively begins to construct elaborate, romantic scenarios. This process can be likened to the brain becoming a full-time rom-com director. These mental scenarios often involve idealized interactions with the object of affection. The individual may find themselves constantly imagining and replaying potential romantic situations. This intense focus and imaginative activity are characteristic of the early stages of infatuation. A notable percentage of crushes are initiated by seemingly minor interactions. One such interaction involves someone saying, "Bless you," after another person sneezes. The manner in which "bless you" is said can significantly impact the development of a crush. A cute or endearing delivery of the phrase can be particularly effective. This suggests that perceived kindness and charm play a role in initial attraction. Therefore, a simple, well-intentioned phrase can inadvertently spark romantic interest. The concept of a 5-minute nap is often used humorously in the context of male behavior. This humor arises from the exaggerated difference between the intended nap length and the actual duration. The joke implies that a man's 5-minute nap can extend far beyond its initial intention. The extension is so significant that it can encompass the time required to watch multiple seasons of a television show. This exaggeration highlights the perceived tendency for men to oversleep or lose track of time during naps. The humor is derived from the relatable experience of time distortion during periods of rest. Men are often perceived to have an innate sense of direction when driving. This perception extends to knowing multiple routes to reach a desired destination. One humorous example is the notion that a man's car instinctively knows alternate routes to get ice cream. This suggests a dedication to satisfying cravings, even if it requires navigational expertise. The statement is a lighthearted observation about perceived male driving habits and preferences. A significant portion of men express confidence in their ability to land a plane during an emergency. This belief suggests a perceived understanding of the basic principles of flight control. It also reflects a level of self-assurance in handling complex machinery under pressure. However, actual piloting requires extensive training and expertise beyond theoretical knowledge. The gap between perceived ability and actual skill highlights a common cognitive bias. The male high five is a social gesture. It is characterized by a brief but firm hand-to-hand contact. Some believe the impact of a male high five resonates deeply. This resonance is said to linger within the soul. The effect is rumored to last for several seconds after the physical contact. Many men engage in private victory speech rehearsals related to fantasy football. This behavior suggests a high level of engagement and investment in the outcome of their fantasy football leagues. The act of practicing speeches implies a desire to publicly celebrate and assert dominance over competitors. Such behavior can be interpreted as a form of playful competition and social bonding among male participants. Women possess the ability to perform multiple tasks at once. One example of this multitasking is folding laundry. While folding laundry, women can also engage in complex thought processes. These thought processes may include strategic planning. This planning can extend to ambitious goals, such as planning world domination. A woman's declaration of, "I've got this," triggers an unexpected auditory phenomenon. This statement seems to activate an imaginary soundtrack. The soundtrack is characterized by heroic and empowering background music. This association links female confidence with a sense of accomplishment. The phenomenon playfully suggests a soundtrack to female empowerment. Many women possess a heightened sense of spatial memory and organization. This allows them to accurately recall the contents and layout of their refrigerators. Consequently, they can often locate items within the fridge, even when blindfolded. This ability highlights their familiarity with household environments. It demonstrates a practical skill in everyday tasks. Women are often said to possess a heightened sense of intuition. This intuition is humorously compared to a built-in GPS. The GPS is said to be especially useful for locating misplaced items. Keys are a common example of items women can intuitively find. A woman's hug is claimed to have the ability to recharge batteries quickly. This suggests a metaphorical transfer of energy or positive influence. The concept implies a comforting and revitalizing effect from a woman's embrace. It highlights the perceived emotional support and nurturing qualities associated with women. The recharge effect is described as happening in a fraction of a second. This emphasizes the immediacy and power of the hug's positive impact. Sharing memes can positively influence relationship dynamics. Couples accumulate relationship points through meme sharing. This suggests shared humor strengthens the bond. Meme sharing can be a simple way to connect and engage. The first dance at a wedding can be seen as symbolic. It is a prediction of the power dynamic within the relationship. The dance suggests who will lead and who will follow. The person stepping on the other's toes is predicted to be the one being led. This dynamic is expected to continue throughout their married life. Love can be expressed through acts of consideration and compromise. One manifestation of love is occasionally allowing the other person to win. This applies even in competitive situations, such as board games. Letting someone win can be a symbolic gesture of affection. It demonstrates a willingness to prioritize their happiness over personal victory. This act of letting win fosters a positive and supportive relationship dynamic. A significant number of couples engage in arguments. One common trigger for these arguments is driving ability. Disagreements often arise over who is the better driver in the relationship. These arguments can stem from perceived differences in skill or safety. Driving-related disputes are a frequently cited source of conflict for couples. Such disagreements highlight the importance of communication and compromise. Couples who shop for groceries together demonstrate a shared responsibility. The act of grocery shopping together may strengthen a couple's bond. Grocery shopping often leads to increased hunger due to exposure to various food items. Shared experiences, like grocery shopping, contribute to a lasting relationship. Certain preferences can be seen as indicators of compatibility between individuals. Shared enjoyment of specific weather conditions can be one such indicator. An aversion to particular discomforts can also signify compatibility. For instance, a mutual love for rainy days suggests a shared aesthetic sense. Similarly, a shared dislike of wet socks indicates agreement on comfort and practicality. The concept of perfect pairs extends to humorous everyday scenarios. One such scenario involves the preparation and consumption of pasta. The humor arises from a common kitchen mishap: overcooking the pasta. The perfect pair dynamic is completed by someone who accepts the overcooked pasta without complaint. This acceptance is symbolized by eating the pasta with a smile. Unironic quoting of Shrek can indicate a high degree of compatibility. Shared appreciation for Shrek suggests aligned senses of humor. Couples who quote Shrek may find themselves exceptionally well suited. Such compatibility might even warrant a serious commitment. The concept explores compatibility even with differing preferences. It uses pizza toppings as a metaphor for disagreements. Soulmates may not always agree on what makes the perfect pizza. Despite differing tastes, they are willing to share and enjoy the pizza together. This compatibility fact humorously suggests a criterion for marriage. It implies that shared viewing habits and a relaxed approach to bedtime are key. Specifically, the couple should consider marriage if they treat the end of a movie as their bedtime. This indicates a mutual enjoyment of movies and a flexible schedule.